Good evening, children. In today's video, we are going to see how to find out the square root of the given number. Right, let's start. We know that 11 square is 121, 14 square is 196, 9 square is 81, right? And we call 121, 196, 81 as square numbers or perfect squares, right? This is a perfect square or a square number. So we say that 121 is 11 square. Therefore, we can say that square root of 121 is 11. We can read this as 121 is the square of 11 and 11 is the square root of 121. I hope it is understood. Similarly, we'll write 14 is the square root of 196. Likewise, we'll say 9 is the square root of 81. And the symbol for square root is root. I hope it is clear. We are going to learn different methods of finding the square root. Okay, one first method that we have already studied is repeated subtraction. Suppose it is 81 and if I want to find out the square root of 81, what we are going to do? We will start with 81 minus 1. You remember this, right? So by repeated subtraction, we can find out the square root. Second, then 80 minus 3. What are we subtracting repeatedly? Odd numbers. Consecutive odd numbers we are subtracting. So after 1 comes 3. 80 minus 3, 77. 77 minus 5 gives me 72. 72 minus 7 gives me 65. 65 minus 9 gives me 56. 56 minus 11 gives me 45. 45 minus 13 is 32. 32 minus 15 is 17. And 17 minus 17 is 0. See 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17 and so on. Right. Now, in the ninth step, we got the remainder 0. Therefore, we write that square root of 81 is 9. Right. If you remember, we had done this to check whether the given number is a perfect square. There we said if the last number, if the remainder is 0, then it is a perfect square, otherwise it is not. So we are just taking it one step ahead and saying that if it is a perfect square, then square root of that number is the step number. Let's take one more example. Suppose I want square root of 16. So how do I start with? 16 minus 1, 15. This is my first step. Second, 15 minus 3 is 12. Then 12 minus 5 is 7. And in the fourth step, I am getting 7 minus 7 is 0. So, the square root of 16 is 4. I hope this is clear. This is one method of finding the square root. The second method that we are going to learn is prime factorization. Okay. Now, we all know how to do the factorization. We know how to do the prime factorization of a given number. Let's see, example is 16 again. We know how to find out the factors. Right, let me write 16 over here and find out its factors. 2 8s are 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are and 2 1s are. That means I've written 16 as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've written that. Therefore, square root of 16 will be square root of this 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Now, children, what you need to remember is whenever I want a number to be out of the square, it has to be out of the square root. I'm sorry, whenever we want a number to come out of the square root, it needs to come out with a pair. For example, if there are 2 2's, then 1 2 will come out. This 2 also has a partner, so 1 2 came out. So the square root became 4.